Be 2 weeks ready. Preparing to prepare. Activity 2. Follow along on Toolkit, page 37.
Activity number 2. Track your food and water for 2 weeks. Goal: create a tool you can use to start planning what you need to be as self-sufficient as possible for 2 weeks. Eating healthy foods promotes and improves the body's readiness for disasters. Eating healthy doesn't have to be expensive, and you don't have to be a gourmet chef to buy, share, and prepare good food that can be stored and preserved to enlarge your 2 weeks ready food stash. See Unit 3, Food Plan, and Unit 4, Water Plan, for ideas on how to affordably build your 2 weeks ready food and water stashes. Think about how you can maintain or improve your health through what you eat and drink. Then journal it. Write down what each person and pet eats and drinks every day over a 2-week period. Tracking this information will help you make your food and water plans to help you be 2 weeks ready. Here's an example. Your relationship with food. As you complete this activity, take time to think and journal about what you eat. What do you and those you live with, including animals, eat? Where do you purchase or get your food? What would you do if those food sources were unavailable? Can you grow, preserve, and store your own food? Where do you currently store food in your place? Where can you creatively store extra food and water? What kind of long-term foods do you typically have on hand? What kind of dietary restrictions do you and those in your household have? Do you have non-perishable comfort foods that can be stored long-term or rotated through your pantry, such as chocolate, hard candy, and beverages that don't need refrigeration? How might you eat differently following a disaster? What are your favorite foods and beverages, the things that comfort you? How might you adapt your favorite recipes, especially without electricity or natural gas? What new cooking methods would you like to try? Your relationship with water. As you complete this activity, take time to think and journal about your water consumption. How much water do you and those you live with, including animals, drink daily? Do you have extra water stored for your household, including animals? Where would you store enough water for your household to last for 2 weeks? Can you create more storage space for water, such as under beds, in closets, or as a makeshift piece of furniture, inside boxes on which you place your TV or use as a table? Do you currently know how to create clean, drinkable water from the water in and around your place and neighborhood? Do you know what water is safe to drink and what isn't? How would you boil water if you had no indoor electricity or natural gas? Your relationship with waste. Think about and journal how to prepare for and deal with food, human, and animal waste. How much toilet paper is used in 1 week by your household? Double that amount to determine what you'll need for 2 weeks. Do you have a safe disposal alternative to using your in-home toilet facilities? Do you know about Plush's 2-bucket system that uses 2 large buckets with lids? See Unit 5, Waste and Hygiene Plan. Do you know the commercial reuse of plastic buckets for food is illegal? Supermarkets, restaurants, and bakeries often give them away for free. Where could you ask locally about these free giveaway items? Do you have safety plans for dealing with human, food, and animal waste? Your relationship with first aid supplies, medications, and durable medical equipment. Journal about how to prepare for injuries, prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, and use of durable medical equipment and assistive devices. Assess your first aid supplies and skills. Have any items expired? What is on hand now? List it. Do you or anyone who lives with you have first aid, CPR, or wilderness first aid training? Have they ever used this training? Track it and journal about it. Prescriptions. List current prescriptions and how often they're filled. How much is used daily and by whom? Track it. Do you know how to reach your pharmacist? Do you know how to ensure medications are water resistant? Assistive devices. Do you or anyone in your place use assistive devices? Do any of those devices require power? Do you have battery or generator backup capacity? Do you know how to reach your supplier? You'll notice a food and water tracker that can help you keep track of how much food and water you consume. Go ahead and fill that out. Your feelings about roughing it. It's okay if outdoor adventures don't appeal to everyone. While some like to retreat to the comforts of a cozy hotel room, others enjoy sleeping under the stars. Journal how you feel about roughing it outdoors for 2 weeks and determine if you have the supplies to be comfortable and safe. How do you feel about being able to safely shelter indoors, even without power and water? If you've camped before, what gear did you use? A tent, camp stove, sleeping bag. If you didn't have these things, what could you use to camp for 2 weeks? Do you have any extra blankets? If you don't have or can't afford camping gear, could you gather a few large tarps and rope? Do you have access to a charcoal or propane grill, wood, fire pit, or chimenea that can be used outdoors? How can you use these to cook food to eat for 2 weeks without power? Do you have warm clothing meant for cold weather? If you can't afford to buy new, where could you go to find second-hand clothes inexpensively, or who might donate them to you? Do you and those in your household have clothing you no longer need that you can share with others? Consider a clothing swap among neighbors, especially those who have children who quickly outgrow clothing or get bored with their own stuff. If you own a home, was it built according to earthquake safety standards, or has it been seismically retrofitted to withstand earthquake shaking? If you live in an apartment building, do you know if it meets earthquake codes? If you live in a manufactured home, is it secured with tie-downs to withstand shaking and high winds? Do you know where your power, water, and natural gas shutoff valves are and how to close them?